Our dual enrollment classes allow high school students to take college courses, which allows them to gain free college credits. We take classes such as math, psychology, and English. These courses are more difficult than high school classes, but it pays off and saves college money in the future. Also, don't think that these classes are not fun because we have more fun here than in high school. Now we are going live to answer some questions from the incoming dual enrollment students.
Wake up! I'm your host, Jaelyn.
And I'm Maci Main.
We're here live at the Tech Center. Current degrees outside is about 40. Slightly cloudy with a chance of rain this afternoon.
Today we have a very interesting segment for you. We're going to talk about dual enrollment.
Our first question we've got today is, how much time do you need to allow yourself to work on assignments outside of class?
Well, that is a great question, Jamie. I would say about 4 to 5 hours a week. It depends on, if we have a big paper coming up or if we just have discussion forums to do for Mrs. Curry's class. But it's not as bad as you think.
Another question we have is, what is your favorite part of dual? Wow. Dual's great. Candy from Sandy. It's great.
Yep.
When you're stressed over the synthesis, you go get some candy from Sandy, and it makes everything better. No, another great thing about dual is probably getting the opportunity to be friends with, have school with kids from outside of Lakers. So I've made friends with kids from Ugly, North Huron, Bad Act. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Maci?
Well, I would have to say my favorite part about dual is honestly just change of scenery, not being at the high school all day. It makes the day go a lot faster, and I feel like this is helping me towards my future.
Yeah, it's free college.
Yeah.
What can you say?
We're going to be going in as sophomores.
Yep. That's great.
Yep.
Our last question is, what was the hardest assignment of English 112? Synthesis,
For
definitely.
sure.
Yep.
It was our last paper for the English class, and none of us have ever really done it before, so it was very challenging, but it taught us a lot of helpful lessons to keep in mind in the future, like time management, and we're probably going to have to write many more synthesis papers later on, so.
You'll get through it, I promise. Oh, mid-writing lab, use it.
So great.
Send your paper in.
Yep.
It'll be worth
You
it.
can send it to a real professor, get, his notes back, and then just, tweak it from there.
Use all your resources.
This mic, is that on?
Yeah, it is.
Man, I can bench 400 pounds. I can't fix my stupid microphone. Well, welcome guys to our dual enrollment Q&A with Jared and Hunter. We have received a couple of questions and we will be answering them as you ask them. So Jared, what's the first one?
Okay, so the first question from the underclassmen is, what's the hardest dual enrollment class?
That one's easy. That would be online statistics. That's our math class that we are currently taking in this semester. Our last semester math classes were either pre-calc or college algebra, and those were pretty simple. But right now, that's definitely the struggle for most of us because it's an online class and our professor doesn't really get a chance to interact with us, and we can't ask questions, so we just have to figure it out among ourselves, and that's very difficult to do. What's the next one, Jared?
Okay, so the next question is, what stories do you read in English class?
In English class. Well, we have this big book full of stories, as you can see. It's roughly 1,400 pages long, so that's fun. There's a lot of stories that you've probably heard of, like, The Cask of Amontillado. Honestly, there's not that many you've probably heard of, but that's a pretty big one that we read in high school. Then there's a lot of really dark and eerie stories that we read. Most of them have a theme of death or betrayal, or broken trust, and so you'll get to pick from all of these themes, and that'll be in your synthesis essay later, but I won't talk about that right now. And so it's just that's all, Jude. That's all we got.
Okay.
And now we're going to have Jared answer some questions. Jared, come on up.
Okay, and we're back. Okay, so Hunter is now behind the camera, and now we're gonna answer more of your questions.
All right, Jared. So our next question is, which part of dual enrollment is most difficult?
Oh, that's kind of a broad question, but I would probably say learning time management is probably one of the most important things you have to learn. Not procrastinating is definitely also important, goes along with time management. You just want to make sure that you schedule out your week so that you are able to get all of your work done. I know that, at least for me, waiting for the last possible moment to do an assignment is extremely stressful, or studying for a test for that matter is also extremely stressful. It is very important to line out your week and then plan accordingly and take at least just like an hour or two out of your day to sit down and do math, do English, do one of your classes so that it is much easier.
So our second question, another student asks, do you guys do a lot of writing in your English class?
So compared to your previous high school class, there is a lot more writing. We have assignments called discussion forums that you would read a story, and then the next day in class you would write out questions and write an essay or two. She is not specific, or Miss Curry isn't specific on how long it has to be, as long as you make your point across. So length would definitely help you. And writing your synthesis, she also doesn't give you a specific length of your pages, but it is important to make your point across. I guess that's the main thing that you have to do, is just make sure you have enough that you can put your point across, and that you synthesize, I guess.
That's good.
She already gave us our.
Hey guys, it's almost snack time, 9:15.
Yay.
Just here to buy some snacks. Do we want the Ruffles or the Fritos today?
$1.
Why'd she scare me down? Jared? Let's go, boys! Procrastination.
Okay,
is
one.
key. Guys, we procrastinated again. So here we are, doing our math homework on the day before our test. Jared, any tips?
Don't procrastinate.
Alright, here's English 112 in a nutshell. The first thing of English 12 are discussion forums. So you'll have a discussion forum after reading a short story, and it'll be like on Moodle, and you'll do that for a class, and you'll have to answer questions about the story, so make sure you read it.
Second thing is poetry presentation. You're gonna pick a poem and then decipher its meaning, and then you're gonna have to do a presentation in front of the class. So make sure you pick a good one, because it's gonna take some time.
Yeah, and then our final assignment that we do is synthesis. That's our biggest paper, and you'll pick a theme from the stories that we read, and you will compare and contrast them throughout the stories.
Okay, and then our last point is short stories, and we read these for the discussion forums, so we are able to answer the questions.
That's English 112!
My phone's